Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Yamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Actually, my throat is not good, so I didn't do a long kirtan. No, I have. Thank you. It's there. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guraha Shri Juta Padakamalam. Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. So very happy to be here with all the wonderful devotees. I always tell this that actually this is our life. For devotees, this is life. Where we come together, do Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan, have Krishna Prasad together. Obviously, attendance for Krishna Prasad is more. That's everywhere, in all the programs. But whatever it is, this is our life. Yes. Yesterday evening, we had a Janmashtami celebration in another place, in Bellandur. After the program, after the grand program yesterday, one lady came to me and she was asking that I worship Lord Shiva, I worship Lord Ram, and today is the last day of Shravan. That's what she was telling. So I'm supposed to do Abhishek of Lord Shiva, but I'm here in the program of Lord Krishna. I worship him also. So is there any problem worshipping Lord Shiva, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna? Is there any problem? So she was very tensed. And the community which I had been to, that was a very elite, materially elite community. And looking at that tension, I was thinking, what is this? Then I, just to test her one-pointedness towards any worship for that matter, I just said, see, as of now, there's no problem. You continue. And with time, as your ananyata grows, as your one-pointed focus grows, then you can worship only Krishna. Then she was asking, no, but Lord Shiva is also God. He is also Bhagavan. Then I understood that there is no point of speaking about ananyata because there is no question of faith on Krishna being the Supreme Lord. Yes. So actually, the bhakti begins from this point, acceptance that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our parampara is such a glorious parampara. Our acharyas are so glorious. More we read about our parampara acharyas, more we'll rise in love with these acharyas. Because each one of them, they have given us so much of clarity about the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness. I don't think if there is any other parampara which gives so many technical details of devotees or a sadhaka's travel, from the basic level to the highest level. So as we all know, there are different stages of devotional service. It begins with Shraddha. And then next is Sadhu Sangha. Next, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. And mostly we spend a lot of time in Anartha Nivritti. Here only one couple had come to meet me from another center. And they're asking, how to understand that we are going from Bhajana Kriya to Anartha Nivritti to Nishtha. Then I spoke about Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Then I spoke about Anartha Nivritti. And then I started speaking about Nishtha. So the husband was writing, wife is saying, "Arey, kyun likh rahe ho? Nahi jaane wale wahan tak." She was fully confident. I told her, "Mate, unko likhne dijiye. Aap thoda shant rahiye." So what happens is many times, devotees feel this Anartha Nivritti is a very big stage, very huge stage. And actually it is. One devotee is asking, kam se kam kitna time lagega Anartha Nivritti mein? Now it varies. Prabhupada says one moment. And it also takes lifetimes for people. But the crux here is, if we understand what is anartha nivritti, what are the different anarthas, and work on it individually, we can get rid of it. Therefore, here comes the role of our acharyas, especially Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What a glorious acharya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. One of the strongest pillar of Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Can you imagine? He was a grihastha having such a responsible job, and he had 10 plus kids, and he was managing all that and writing hundreds of songs and hundreds of books, and that too not some ordinary ones, very, very deep, very, very deep. So one such book that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, it is titled as Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita. In that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he elaborates especially on this topic of anartha in one of the sections. So he begins saying there are two types of leelas of the Lord. One is called as Nitya Leela, one is called as Naimitika Leela. Nitya Leela means eternal pastimes. Naimitika means occasional pastimes. So Nitya Leela goes on in the spiritual world. Even here, on this world where we have various holy places where Lord has performed his pastimes, there also it eternally goes on. But specially he talks about spiritual world, and he says that in the spiritual world, it goes on. And the Leelas are divided into 8 parts. So 24 hours, so 3 hours each. So 8 parts. So technically that's called as Ashtakalya Leela. So that is the thing that takes place in Goloka Vrindavan. Same thing is seen here also when Lord does his pastimes in Bhauma Vrindavan. But in Bhauma Vrindavan, there is something that gets added. And that is occasional pastimes also get added. Naimitika Leela also gets added. Naimitika Leela is somewhat present indirectly in the Goloka Vrindavan, but it fully manifests here in this material world. Now, what are these Naimitika Leela, occasional pastimes? Lord entering Vrindavan, Lord exiting Vrindavan. Now, this cannot take place in Goloka Vrindavan. So, he remains eternally. But then, in Bhauma Vrindavan, here he manifests this occasional pastime of entering Vraja, exiting Vraja. Along with that, here in Bhauma Vrindavan, he manifests various wonderful pastimes which are very, very amazing, with a lot of action and a lot of maza for many people. That is killing of demons. Now, killing of demons is not there in the spiritual world, because spiritual world there is no envy. So where is the question of demons? And even if demons are there, I was hearing in one of the class, I don't have reference for it. So that devotee was saying that even if demons are there, they'll be just like a toy for Krishna to play. That's it. Not the way the demons manifest here in this material world. So these are the two pastimes. So our Acharya says, especially Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he stresses the point and he says, these occasional pastimes are very, very important for sadhakas like us, who are struggling in the stage of anartha nivritti and below. Especially killing of demons, very important. But these pastimes may or may not be that important for those who have already reached the higher stages, and they will have their own higher meditations. So here comes the understanding that Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives. He says that all the different demons that came in Vrindavan Leela, all those demons, they represent different anarthas in our life. And he says that if we study these pastimes properly, attentively, and pray to Krishna, those specific anarthas will be removed. Therefore, I said our acharyas are glorious. So they describe the pastime, they describe the intricacies of the pastime, and they also give the understanding that this demon represents which anartha and what we should pray to Krishna. So like this, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done is, he has listed down 21 such events in Krishna Leela, in Vrindavan, and he gives equivalent anarthas in us, which we need to pray to Krishna to get it destroyed. But what we'll do today is, we'll try to focus only on those demons who came to kill Krishna. Yes. This 21 is a huge number. The first thing I did is I asked how much time we have for the class. So, you know how many demons came to kill Krishna in Vrindavan Leela? Means which are documented in Bhagavatam. According to our acharyas, every day 3 demons came, looks like. Morning, afternoon, evening. Because the Lord and his devotee friends, all the gopas and all the gopis, they will be so absorbed in the pastimes that they would not remember that now it's breakfast time, now it's lunch time, now it's dinner time. They'll not remember all that. So therefore, demons would come to remind them. So Krishna will kill the demon in the morning, oh chalo, breakfast time. Then he'll kill a demon in the lunch time and then okay, lunch time. That's how they would get reminded of. And evening when they kill the demon, ha, abhi ghar pe jana hai. So in this way, demons would come. So we have so many demons like that. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami, he has documented for the welfare of all of us 13 such demons. So 13 demons who came to kill Krishna. And these 13 demons, they represent some specific anartha in our life. And these anarthas don't allow us to progress in bhakti. So what we are supposed to do is understand which demon represents which anartha. And if we have that particular anartha in us, because in the stage of anartha nivritti, this is what we are supposed to do. Firstly, find out which anartha is troubling us. Second, pray to Krishna for the removal of that anartha. And specifically here Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, by studying that particular pastime, we will get rid of that anartha, along with our intense prayers to Krishna. But there is a twist also. He says, but there are 2 demons which we have to endeavor. There are 2 types of anarthas which we have to endeavor, then Krishna's mercy will flow. For other anarthas, you directly go and pray to Krishna. I'm getting troubled with this anartha, you please help me. So we'll try to unfold this, when we go demon by demon, yes, and try to explore, one by one. So beginning with the first one, Krishna appeared in Mathura and he was transferred to Gokul Mahavan. So in Gokul Mahavan, when Lord he had spent only 6 days, a demon came. Name was Putana. So demoness, Putana. So she came. And as all of us know, this demon or demoness, she came in a very, very beautiful form like a gopi. And she entered Braj, she entered the place, Gokul Mahavan. And she tricked everyone by her beauty. And then finally she entered the house of Nanda Maharaj. Directly she went to the place where Krishna was on the cradle. And then she picked up Krishna, she started feeding the milk. It was not milk, with some badam flavor or something. Yes. It was milk with halal poison. Because she had applied halal poison on the breast. Where is the halal poison found? Where? During Samudra Manthan. So somehow this Putana got that poison and she had stored for the good. And what was that good? For killing babies. So she applied the poison on the breast and she was here feeding milk to Krishna. In the pretext of feeding milk to Krishna, she wanted to give poison and kill Krishna. But our Supreme Lord, even if he's in the cradle, even if he's just 6 days young, here in this Bhavama pastimes, he is still Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada says, by doing some yoga and meditation, you cannot become God. God is God even in the cradle, and example is Putana pastime. And what did Krishna do? He sucked milk. Along with that, he sucked life air also. He sucked the life air of Putana and Putana was killed. Now here comes a very important understanding. Putana represents which anartha? And our acharyas say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Putana represents the anartha of being a pseudo guru, being a false guru. What does a false guru do? A false guru, he preaches sense gratification and or liberation. So he sows the seed and he encourages people to aspire for sense gratification and also to aspire for liberation. What is the definition of Shuddha Bhakti? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadya anavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. So having desire for bhukti, that is sense gratification, having desire for mukti, that is liberation, that is against pure devotional service. So as soon as someone encourages others to aspire for sense gratification, for aspire for moksha, oh, such a person is just a demon and nothing else. And this anartha can be there in sadhakas like us. In one of our centers, so it was strongly spoken that when it comes to devotees, who are wearing kantimala, who are planning to get initiated, so they have to give up onion garlic, they should take only prasad. This was the thing that was spoken. So there were some 2-3 females, Matajis. So there was a discussion that was going on in the group of Matajis. And how did I get to know all this? Because that came to me. And I was supposed to solve the problem. So that issue came to me, and you know what was the issue? Those 2-3 Matajis were telling other sincere Matajis, see, these people sitting on Vyasasana, they'll speak all this. That is their job. And they're chanting 16 rounds every day. So that is their job. But see, I go to restaurants, I eat with my husband, there's no problem. You also continue. Can you imagine this? First hand, I have first hand experience of the first anartha that we're discussing. So this is that. We may not be Diksha Gurus for that matter. We might not be some great Shiksha Guru for that matter. An ordinary devotee in the community doing this, telling others to aspire for sense gratification, continue sense gratification, aspire for mukti, that represents this particular anartha, who is represented by the demon Putana. So after Putana, she left Vrindavan and entered Goloka Vrindavan. There comes the next demon. Any guess? Shakatasur. And now Shakatasur came on that occasion when Krishna turned on the bed. Whatever Lord does, that's a festival. When we turned, I don't know what was the thing. Okay, we fell down. Yes. I don't know, we are already fallen, how much we fall, how much more we will fall. When Lord turned, there was a festival. Yashoda Mai thought that we should have a big festival. My Kana has turned. So at that time, a lot of Pandits were invited, Brahmanas were invited. Swasti Vachan happened, various Yagyas happened. Huge festival. And at that time, Mother Yashoda was thinking that I have to host so many guests. And if Krishna, he starts crying and starts disturbing, that will be difficult. So Mother Yashoda, she put Krishna to rest, and she took Krishna and kept him outside in the Angan, below a cart. So Acharyas described that this demon, Shakatasur, he was Asur. So this Asur was thinking, since Putana assumed a form and she went, she was killed. I'll not assume a form. I'll enter someone else's form. And this Asur entered Shakat, and therefore is called as Shakatasur. And what Krishna did? So Krishna, he got up from his sleep and he started crying, and he just touched his foot, not feet, foot. And I think we should be more clear. Toe of the foot, he just touched, and the entire cart toppled. And all the things that were kept, on the cart, all that was broken and spilled here and there. Now when I'm speaking all this, I'm getting a lot of points from Acharya's commentaries, but will not enter into that. Why he kicked and what it represents, etc. But here Shakatasur, he was killed. And Shakatasur, he represents an anartha in our life. You know what's that anartha? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, this anartha is heavy load, because the cart, it was having heavy load. So this particular anartha is heavy load of bad impressions from past life and this life. This is that anartha. And specifically, it will manifest in the form of false ego and laziness. Many times it happens, at least it happens with me. Without any reason, we feel lazy. सब कुछ हो गया, everything set. We have slept nicely in the morning and we have slept nicely in the night. Yes, and we had nice sleep also. But still, after getting up, there's laziness, the lethargy, and at times we see that even after hearing so many classes and so much of sadhana, and sometimes japa marathons that we do and shastric study that we do, even after all that, false ego is still there. We completely have firm conviction, except on the Vyasas and other places, that I am this body. Only on Vyasasana it changes. I am spirit soul and not this body. So why this anartha is present? This anartha in the form of Shakatasura is present in us. And by the way, it's because of what? It's because of the past impression. Currently, we might be practicing bhakti very nicely, but because of the past bad impressions, we have these two things, false ego, and along with that, we have the second one, and that is laziness. So what are we supposed to do? If we recognize that this is an anartha that we have to read this pastime, study this pastime, pray to Krishna that, oh Lord, I've got this anartha. I've got this anartha of being lazy. I've got so much of false ego. You please help me. You please help me. Please remove this anartha. Krishna will do the job. Because Krishna killed Shakatasur. Only he can kill this Shakatasur inside all of us. So when Krishna was just 3 months on this planet doing his wonderful pastimes, he killed Shakatasur. Okay, next demon that came to Vrindavan or Gokul Mahavan. No? Trinavarta. Yes, Trinavarta. Lord just completed 1 year. He just completed 1 year of his Bhauma pastimes. And at that time, Mother Yashoda, very, very happy, holding her baby in the arms. Suddenly she started feeling, itna bhari kyun ho raha hai? Why is so heavy? And he's heavy like a mountain. So she kept Krishna down and she started thinking, has some ghost entered this boy? Arey Baba, ghost run away because of this boy. How can ghost enter this boy? And she started thinking a lot of things. Am I an illusion? Hallucination? And she started praying to Narayan. Oh Narayan, please help me. Please help me. Please help this boy. And then she went inside the kitchen. At that time, this demon came, the whirlwind. Why Trina Avarta? Why Trinavarta? Because this whirlwind carrying a lot of Trina, grass, dust. And the demon came. Our acharyas also say that Krishna had a desire in his wonderful baby form. He wanted to fly like birds. So one day he was telling Mother Yashoda, I want to fly like that bird. And Mother Yashoda is like, not possible. And Krishna said, I am God. How is it not possible? I'll make it possible. And at that time, this wonderful pastime manifested. And guess what? The Asur came and he took Krishna and he's taking Krishna higher and higher and higher. What do you think? Krishna was fearful? Krishna was happy? Krishna was happy. The free ride that he's getting. And finally, when Krishna went atop, looks like Krishna was bored now, enough. With his very, very little small hands. Just imagine, 1 year old baby. In this world itself, the babies are so soft. And we're talking about all the babies put together, all the softness put together, that baby, Krishna. He is pressing the neck of Trinavarta. And now Trinavarta started feeling choked. Not out of ecstasy, because of the pressing of Krishna, pressing by Krishna's hands. And finally he suffocated. And he died. Now he died in the air. And finally the demon came down. Or I shouldn't say like this, he died in the air, because the description says he was so choked, he was feeling so heavy. Because Krishna was already very heavy for him. And he came down thrashing on a stone slab. And he died. Now here Trinavarta, he represents a very important anartha. And this anartha is false pride. False pride, especially false pride produced by useless scholarship. Now it's very important to understand that sometimes, when we read things from here and there, it might not be from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. some other literatures. And we try to argue with people, debate with people to establish that in the association of devotees. That's actually an anartha. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his article on Bhaktyalok, when it comes to the topic of Prajalpa, he writes that there are 8 types of Prajalpa. And one type is this, useless arguments. And why arguments come? Why do we argue? Because I'm confident what I know is correct. That's the best. That's the best. So because of that we argue. And whenever we have this mentality, this tendency, we have to understand that this is because of the false pride. Why false pride? It's not true pride, it's false pride. Because the knowledge that we have is not complete. The knowledge that we have is superficial. So based on that when we argue, so that's called as false pride. And this anartha, false pride, is very important to give up. Therefore, here Lord Krishna, what he does, people with false pride, they'll go higher and higher and higher. And Krishna knows what to do. He'll strangle that person and then he'll get him down and thrash him down on the stone. And what will happen? The devotee will not be killed, don't worry. But the anartha will be killed. Yes. So what are we supposed to do if we feel this anartha is there in us? Study this pastime. And while studying this pastime, pray to Krishna that, oh Lord, I have this false pride. You please help me. You please kill this Trinavarta inside me. And Krishna will do the needful. Abhi see, when Krishna does the needful, thoda dukhega. It will pain. But that devotee is very sincere, who really wants to get rid of anartha. See, one is dialogue, that I really want to get rid of anarthas. I want to attain Krishna Prem. It's a dialogue. And the ones who actually feel that I want to get rid of anarthas. I really want to attain Krishna Prem. And how does Krishna test person A and person B? By doing the needful. He starts doing the operation. And when the operation is going on, at that time, the person A, he requests Krishna, enough. Next life. Abhi nahi aur nahi. But the person B will tell the Lord, continue. I want to get rid of this anartha. Kuch bhi ho jaye, nikal do isko bas, nikal do. I'll tolerate. Nikal do ise. So such a devotee will be able to get purified. So this is Trinavarta representing false pride. Okay, little difficult question. Which demon came after Trinavarta? Haribol. Vatsasur came, yes. Hey, don't open Krishna book in front of me. Today we'll have this quiz. When Krishna was around 3 years and 4 months, at that time, it is described that Krishna took charge of calves. In fact, at that time itself, Krishna went to Yashoda Maya and he started saying, just imagine, 3 years old boy, I've become very strong. I can herd the cows. And he was so adamant on this that Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj had to sanction his desire. But not cows, you take calves. And you cannot go very far. Just little outside Gokul Mahavan, that's it. Not very far. Now, okay, it's, if I'm not wrong, it's not Gokul Mahavan, it should be Vrindavan. Yes. Vrindavan, no? Yes, Vrindavan. So, little outside Vrindavan. That's it. So that any time Mother Yashoda can go and check, get them back. That's why we have pastimes where they have gone to herd the calves, and when it's lunchtime, at that time Mother Yashoda goes and calls Krishna. Rohini goes and calls Krishna. So they are very nearby, that's what it means. So since the Lord was herding calves at that time, by the way, herding cows and calves is just for namesake, it's about playing. He was there in the forest for playing. And little bit herding of the calves and cows. See, herding means what? The cowherd man has to be really vigilant that cows shouldn't go here and there and things like that. But which calf or which cow will go away from Krishna? They are so attracted to Krishna, they are all around, all the time. And Krishna would have his own wonderful pastimes. So that time a demon entered and he took the shape of a calf. And Krishna has got lot of calves. And his friends also came with lot of calves. So lakhs of calves there. But still, Krishna is a person. And he has a personal relationship with everyone, including each calf. They are the foolish ones who says that Krishna is impersonal. No, no. Your God might be impersonal, but not ours. He is a person. And he has a personal loving relationship with everyone, including each and every calf. So suddenly when there was a new calf, so Krishna is telling Balram, Bhaiya, Bhaiya, dekho, dekho. Looks like he's a new calf. And Balram smiled. And Krishna also smiled. And Krishna said, I'll do the needful. And Krishna went near that calf. And immediately that calf jumped to kill Krishna. And at that time, Krishna held the legs of calf, turned him and threw him. And the calf was dead. And there was a celebration after that. Now, what anartha does Vatsasur represent? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakuri says, Vatsasur represents childish mentality, immature mentality, which gives rise to a type of greed for sense gratification. We might have seen small kids, sometimes very greedy. Even if there are 10 chocolates, they want all of them. They'll not share with anyone. Obviously, there are some sadhu kids also who will give away everything. And I'm talking about normal ones. So it's very natural. They want to keep everything. That's a childish mentality, immature mentality. So greed for sense gratification. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he comments on this particular demon. And he says that the childish type mentality, especially for those kids who are growing and who are attaining puberty, especially about them he speaks, and for the elders who have the same mentality, the desire for sensual enjoyment, desire for sex. So, but obvious, when the person attains puberty, so such desires might creep in. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he writes this article in Harmonist, and he says, it's the job of the parents to train the kids, especially the boys, as proper upright brahmacharis. He writes this very clearly. Because if they are not trained as proper brahmacharis, then they'll not be able to do justice in the society. So this desire of sense gratification, and especially the topmost sense gratification, that is desire for sex, intense one, like the ones who are attaining puberty might have, that is represented by Vatsasur. Since Vatsa, small calf, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving here a childish type mentality. So this is the fourth anartha that is described very beautifully in Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita. Okay, let me see if you can guess the next demon. Next one. Haribol, Bakasur, yes. Bakasur. So Bakasur came as a stock demon, yes. And he was standing on one leg in the water. He was standing like a yogi in deep meditation. But these birds, they stand on one leg like yogi in deep meditation. But their meditation is fish. The meditation is fish. As soon as they see some fish, little carelessly moving around their feet, immediately they'll grab and eat it up. But this stock demon, Bakasur, he was so huge like a mountain. So Krishna and all the cowherd boys, they started feeling, what is this new structure in Vrindavan? Oh, looks like it's a scenic beauty. Let's go and check what it is. So all of them, they went around. But Bakasur was waiting for Krishna. So as soon as Krishna came there, in front of everyone, he ate Krishna. He got Krishna in his mouth and he swallowed Krishna. That's what is the description that is given. But who can swallow Krishna? Krishna was there in the throat and he became very, very hot. And finally, Bakasur had to vomit. And who came out? Krishna came out. How unfortunate, no? Krishna wants to enter you and you don't want Krishna to enter you. Demon, what to do? And now what Bakasur started doing is, with his beak, he started to attack Krishna to kill him. And what did Krishna do? With his feet, he held the lower jaw, and then with the upper jaw, he uprooted. And it is described that Krishna tore apart the demon into two pieces. This is our Krishna, Shama Sundar Krishna. Now Bakasur, he represents a very important anartha which might trouble many of us, that is false and dishonest dealings. False and dishonest dealings. And especially that this arises because of duplicity or dishonesty in us. Kutinati can also be a word for this, as our acharyas describe. False and dishonest dealings. See, in general, majority of us, since we have come from the background of materialism, this will be there. But then, as we come in the association of devotees, we have to curb this mentality. False dealings, dishonest dealings. We have to follow dharma. We cannot deal in black. No, devotees cannot. Now, someone might say, Prabhuji, I am doing black dealings, but then I don't see any effect on my chanting. I'm completing my 16 rounds every day. But you know what? It's just a matter of time that this anartha will attack and our sadhana will get hampered completely. And especially our dealings with devotees, it has to be straightforward. If our dealings with devotees is not straightforward, then tell me, what's the point? Outside also there's so much of duplicit dealings. Here also duplicit dealings. Sometimes newcomers, when they have some bad experience in the devotee community, they come and ask us, since they consider us to be senior in the that particular center or whatever, they come to us and they complain that, bro, what is the difference between the outsiders and the insiders? I don't find any difference. Just a tangent. Now, when I was coming from Marathali Center to here, so the church that comes, there were huge number of cars standing there. Huge number of cars. I didn't get time to count because I was on the bike. Huge number of cars. And the best part is they have the parking space also. Yes. I was thinking, isn't that amazing? How is it that these people are able to attract so many people and we are not able to? Yes. Because sometimes we fall short when it comes to following the principles of dharma. How much they follow is a question mark, but they speak about it. This is there. Even other so-called spiritual organizations, which are not bona fide. We know it thoroughly, not part of any sampradaya. But they speak principles of dharma, and common public get attracted to that. Yes. So one thing is very important in the circle of devotees, especially we preachers, have to speak about principles of dharma. And especially this principle that false dealings, dishonest dealings shouldn't be found in the association of devotees. And once found, there should be a strict action that should be taken against that devotee or sadhaka. Yes. But when it comes to us, if we feel that this is there in me, and if we are really sincere and I want to get rid of it, and we pray that I want to get rid of it, Krishna will do the needful. He will kill this demon. He will kill this demon, Bakasur. Okay, the sixth demon that came to Vrindavan when Krishna was 4 years, 4 months. Aghasur came. Yes, Aghasur came. Aghasur came as Python. Because these demons, they could assume any form. So he came as Python. He opened his mouth very wide. He put his tongue out. And all the gopas, they started thinking, hey, look, looks like a huge cave. New place for playing hide and seek or whatever. Yes. And we see that all the kids, they started entering Aghasur's mouth. One important point, so therefore now I'm elaborating on this. The kids started telling each other, they're talking to each other. And what was the talk? The talk was, some kids were telling, some gopas were telling, looks like this is actually a python. Other kid, how are you saying it's python? Look at those teeth. Look at those teeth. And the other kid is saying, no, no, it's not teeth. It is just, some peak of the mountain, of the cave. Another person said, no, no, look at this, the road that we're walking on. This is actually tongue of python. And at that time, the other kid said, no, no. Actually, the reflection of sun is there on the ground. Therefore, it is reddish. And the discussion went on and on and on. But finally, the conclusion was, even if it's a python, why worry? See who is standing there? Bakari is standing there. Who is Bakari? Killer of Bakasur. Bakari is standing there. Why worry? And for your information, Agasur was the younger brother of Bakasur and Baki, Putana. Therefore the shloka, Aho Bakiyam. Yes. So she is Baki, next brother is Baka, and now is Agha. Nice names. This is called as faith of devotees on Krishna. This is what I wanted to highlight. They were very clear. And our acharyas also give a commentary. They say, some Gopas they were telling, see, last time Krishna alone entered the mouth of Bakasur. We don't know how it feels. All of us will enter the mouth of this demon. And then let Krishna come and save us. And what did Krishna do? So when all the Gopas entered, Agasur, his mouth was still open. And Krishna entered the mouth. Immediately mouth got closed. And inside a lot of things happened. And Krishna, he increased the size to an extent where Agasur felt very choked. And Agasur's body was dead because the soul came out from the body, from Brahmarandra. It came out from Agasur's body. And when Krishna came out from the body of Agasur, at that time, that spirit soul, it entered the body of the Lord. And our acharyas say that Agasur, he got Sarupya Mukti. He attained Sarupya Mukti. Okay, our discussion. What does Agasur represent in our life? And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Agasur represents the mentality of cruelty towards others. Violence towards other living entities is what is represented by Agasur. So, when we have this mentality of causing harm to others may not be always physical. Obviously, physical is a great thing. But causing harm to others even by speech comes in this category. So, violence towards other living entities. Are we talking about only devotees? Violence towards only devotees? All living entities. All living entities. So in Aparad, there are 4 categories of anarthas which are described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Bhajan Rahasya book. In that, the 4th category of anartha, he says, is Aparad. So in that, he gives again 4 categories. And in that, he says, Naam Aparad, Seva Aparad, then Naam, Seva, and Dham comes in this. Jiva Aparad. So Jiva Aparad is there. So he gets this category of Jiva Aparad. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur specially already in Naam Aparad and Seva Aparad, Vaishnavas are counted. But still he puts 3rd as Vaishnava Aparad. So Naam Aparad, Seva Aparad, Vaishnava Aparad, and the 4th one he says Jiva Aparad. So we'll not discuss all that. We'll just come to the last one, Jiva Aparad. So we might say, no, I'll just take care not offending Vaishnavas. So that's okay. But you know what? That's not sufficient. Obviously, that's most important. Because our bhakti will get hampered if we don't honor Vaishnavas and offend Vaishnavas. It will be a problem. But then if we commit violence against any living entity, that is also aparad. Why it's called as aparad? वो तो भक्ति नहीं करते, जब तो करते नहीं वो लोग. Huh? Okay, Krishna is there. They are also part and parcel. They are all Chitkana. They are all part and parcel of Krishna. And therefore, when we harm the part and parcels of Krishna, it's a problem. Krishna takes it as offense. And therefore here, Agasur's mentality of violence towards other living entities represents this anartha, where because of this cruelty, because of this violence, our japa will get affected. Especially here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing, This attitude is an offense against the chanting of the holy names. I was very shocked to read this because in other places he has not mentioned. Only here is mentioning this. This offense is against the chanting of the holy names. This is a problem. And one more point when it comes to violence towards other living entities, which Srila Prabhupada mentioned in his purports, is not sharing Krishna consciousness with others. Prabhupada writes this in Bhaktivedanta Purports to Bhagavad Gita. Not sharing Krishna consciousness with others is also violence. Therefore, each and every devotee in the community of devotees is expected to preach at their level according to their capacity. Share the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So this is the sixth demon that we have discussed, Aghasur. Okay, seventh demon? No, not Pralambasur. Yes, Dhenukasur. Dhenukasur came as donkey. Yes. He came as donkey. He came as ass demon. It's very nice. All the Gopas, they started telling Krishna, Krishna, we are feeling very hungry. We want to, then Krishna said, what do you want to eat? We want to eat tal fruits. Where are tal fruits? Tal one. Let's go. No, we cannot go. There's a demon. And the demon's name is Dhenukasur. So Dhenukasur's mentality was, this is my area. Koi nahi aana chahiye idhar. Bhagwan bhi nahi aa sakta hai. That was the mood of Dhenukasur. So now, Krishna went there. But did Krishna act here or Balram act? Balram acted. So Balram went there and with all force, with all his bala, he started shaking the tal trees. And the tal fruit started falling down. At that time, Dhenukasur came. Who is this trespasser? He came there and he saw what Balram was doing. He attacked Balram. So at that time, what did Balram do? How do donkeys attack? With his hind legs. And at that time, he came, he turned, he wanted to kick Balram. And Balram held the hind legs. He turned them nicely. That's a question. Did Dhenukasur die while turning or he died while after throwing? It's still a question. But he died. Yes. He was thrown. And then all the other donkey demons also came and Krishna and Balram killed all of them. Now look at Dhenukasur's mentality. First and foremost, he's saying, मेरे area में नहीं आना. अरे भाई सब भगवान का है. ईशावास्यम idam sarvam. Everything belongs to Lord. No. This belongs to me. This is a mentality that is very, very dangerous. And then not recognizing Krishna's position, not recognizing Balram's position, attacking them. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this is an anartha. What is that anartha? Gross materialistic intelligence and ignorance of spiritual knowledge. This is an anartha represented by Dhenukasur. Gross materialistic intelligence and ignorance of spiritual knowledge. Now this is one such anartha which Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, sadhakas should endeavor to get rid of this anartha and then pray to Krishna. See, all the other anarthas till now, what did we discuss? How to get rid of it? Study the pastime, pray to Krishna, Krishna will do the needful. But this anartha, sadhakas have to personally endeavor to get rid of it. Okay, let me ask you all, how to get rid of this anartha? Ignorance of spiritual knowledge. Taking shelter of spiritual master and do what? Okay? Association. And do what in association? Study Shastra. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Siddhanta balya chitte nakaralas iha haite Krishna lage sudruda manas. It is described that when it comes to Siddhanta, don't be alsi. When it comes to philosophy, hear that carefully, study it carefully. Because Siddhanta is what will give us clarity. And when Siddhanta is clear, then we can apply our mind firmly on the lotus feet of Krishna. Many times devotees feel very nice when it comes to pastime classes. Prabhuji, और बताइए, और बताइए, और बताइए, और थोड़ा लीला बताइए. That's nice. But we'll be able to relish the leelas only when the Siddhanta is clear. So now Janmashtami occasions going on. So we'll be hearing a lot of Krishna Leela. Now say throughout the year if we continue the same Leela, say Damodar pastime, yes, one full month. It's a big problem for preachers because wherever they go they have to speak the same thing. Yes. And if there are the same audience in every program, that's a big problem. Now the speaker does not have taste to speak the same Leela and the audience also don't have the taste to hear the same Leela. You know why? Why is it that we are not able to shed tears every time we hear the pastimes of the Lord where He's getting bound by Mother Yashoda? This is not the case with the great souls who have attained the stage of prema. Every time they hear, they cry. They shed tears. Every time. N number of times they hear, N number of times they shed tears. Because they understand the position of Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know why we enjoy pastimes? Any idea why we enjoy pastimes? When we hear pastimes, अच्छा लगता है सुनने. Entertainment. That's the thing. We feel entertained, in that. अब मजा आ रहा है एकदम मजा आ रहा है और बोलो मजा आ रहा है. Along with that, another thing is we put ourselves, our time pass sometime in that pastime. Yes. I was speaking there was a question and I spoke something on Radha and Krishna or whatever. This was long time back. Here only I was giving Gita course, 2019 or something. So after the class, one Mataji came, unmarried Mataji, and then she was talking to me and she was like, Prabhuji, आपने जो भी बोला ना क्लास में सच सच लग रहा है वो. मैं डर गया क्या बोलने वाली है अभी. Then she came and she's saying that actually my boyfriend is troubling me like this, like Krishna was troubling Srimati Radharani. And I was like, what nonsense is this? ये सच लगा तुम्हें? You see, what do we do? When we are hearing about Lord's pastime, we pull that onto our level. Then we start analyzing. This is aparad. And when we keep committing aparad, we cannot relish that pastime. Not possible. As simple as that. Therefore, it's very important to have a proper understanding of Siddhanta. Who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead? Why is it that Srila Prabhupada keeps speaking about it again and again, that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? If you all want, you can do this activity. Pick up any lecture of Prabhupada and count how many times he says Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. You'll find good number of times in every lecture Prabhupada says this. But sometimes devotees say, why Prabhupada is repeating this again and again? It's not repetition because Prabhupada does not have content to speak. He has so much of content to speak, but he's not able to speak because we are not qualified. So much. So again and again, when we keep hearing about Krishna's position, our fallen position, our relationship with Krishna, what happens is, with time, the clarity emerges about Siddhanta. Sambandha becomes clear. So when Sambandha becomes clear, this particular ignorance that is there, ignorance of spiritual knowledge, that goes off. Therefore, when we take a good interest in understanding Shastra, then Krishna takes interest in our life and he removes